Technology is critical for Liberia's development as it encompasses every sector in our society. We ask you to join us today at 4 p.m. for MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Kindly join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
For the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Kindly join us at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Hey there, join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today.
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 Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Be part of the program, be part of the conversation. Technology is critical.
Hello and welcome everyone to the MWETANA Tech Talk. I am Shemaya Falacia Jones Carpi, your host, and today we are here to dive deep into the conversation of software impact. Today we are joined by no one else but Mr. Francis Dilamu, the brain behind the industrial software development of MWETANA. Today we are not just going to talk about how softwares are developed or what it takes to develop a particular software, but today we are going to dive deep into the man that is behind the code, the man that is driving the change and impact of technology within Liberia. So if you're tuning in today and you're a tech enthusiast or you are someone that is really excited about learning, today you are tuned right into the right atmosphere. So I want to say thank you for joining us as we dive deep into software insight with Francis. Mr. Dilamu, I want to say thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for the program, and I love the title, like the man behind the code.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. So who is this man behind the code? Who is Francis Dilamu? What can you tell us about yourself, sir?
Francis Dilamu. Let me start with a story.
Okay, that's nice. I like stories.
yes, I love stories. The title is they refer to mistakes that we make,
Okay.
Errors in the code as a bug.
All right.
Yeah, so bug are tiny. You can just crash it and move ahead. But in software, there are big issues.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember years back, I spent 3 days trying to figure out why an application wasn't working. After troubleshooting, and I checked through, I still couldn't find the reason why the application wasn't working. And mind you, in those days, we're using desktop computers.
Tell me about it.
It was difficult because I have to worry about debugging the application. I also have to worry about keeping my eyes on the generator. Yeah, problem. And after 2 days, I could see that it was caused by just a semicolon. Just a simple semicolon.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's simple. Because I couldn't use a semicolon, I used a command.
Okay.
That's why I created a problem. And the software couldn't work for 3 days. And it taught me a lot. The problem, just a tiny mistake can lead to a big problem.
Wow.
And I have learned from that. And the lesson learned was that you have to be patient.
You have to
and
be
you
patient.
have to pay attention to details. And that is software development. I'm Francis Delamour, a software engineer by profession. And I'm currently the head of the software department at MWETANA, a big team. My work involves 70% human interaction, which has to do with communications. And I have 30% of my work has to do with coding, which is giving instructions to the computer. Yes, do this and do that. On my team, I have a great workforce, and I have a big front-end developer, a great team to do the UI, to make sure that we have nice graphic, we have a better user experience, and I also have a back-end team.
Wow.
Yeah, they are responsible for the logic, making sure that everything the client needs is built into the application. And in the middle, I have an excellent quality assurance team. Yeah, they make sure that our application is robust and everything we design actually is bulletproof.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm backed by a solid team. And through that team, we managed to develop a problem-solving application, solution-oriented application from MWETANA.
That is very brilliant. I mean, I cannot even think about how much it takes to do that with our excellent, I like the word you use, excellent quality assurance team.
Yes.
Backed by a excellent front and back end development team. Just give it a particular and unique sandwich. Because once you're making a sandwich, you have to have a very good loaf of bread on one side, another very great loaf of bread on the other side, and then with something very exciting in the middle. So I like the way you talk about the front end first, the back end, and then it's sandwich with the quality assurance team.
Yes.
It really shows that you guys are doing a lot of excellent job here at MWETANA. But with this journey that you are currently on into ICT, what actually inspired you to pursue technology?
Yeah, I've been actually inspired by the power of software transforming lives.
Transformation.
Yes, transformation. I always say this story. It's like years back, my first interaction with computer, it was mind-blowing.
Wow.
Yes. I saw computer like something that can solve all the problems.
All the problems.
All the problems. And I developed an undeniable belief that computer was more intelligent than human being.
Yes, that's true.
In a sense that I didn't believe that what we could do with computer and in just few minutes and come up with results. Yeah, that's what led me to dig deeper to see, yes, this piece of device, what is it? What can it do? and how this magic plays at the back. And I got involved, and I have realized that through coding, we can transform the nation. Yes, we have used coding to help the government, to help small businesses, and we have also used coding to fight corruption.
That's true.
Yes, we have used coding to enable transparency. So just with a piece of code, and we are doing a great job just in our environment and enabling our community and enabling all those around us to live a better life.
That's very inspiring, I'll say. But expected outside of
I love storytelling.
Storytelling.
Yeah, because I've come to realize that people get connected to you through stories.
Yeah.
So once you tell stories, they pay attention to what you are doing, and they make sure that they want to see how that story will end. Yes. Let me tell you a story.
I like stories.
Yeah, tell me a story.
Tell me a story.
I remember when we deploy, years back, we deploy our schooling application, schooling PX, in one of the primary schools. And after going through a series of training, it was easy for the principal. We went through it, and he saw that everything was okay. It is easy. Work he could do in days, were done in just with few clicks. And after the training, he walked up to me. I said, Francis, we don't need papers.
We don't.
He said, we don't need papers. He said, the computer does it all. I said, yes, but I said, that's what you see on our flowers. He said, paperless.
Paperless.
No lines. And he said, yes. And actually, it brought a great feeling to me, in a sense that joy of seeing common people putting smile on the face of that principal.
Yes.
Yes, who couldn't even afford a technology to help him. That brought a great joy to me.
I can tell. I could tell. So when you look at the impact that technology have on, it's just mind-blowing what the sacrifices that you guys have to make sure that we can be able to stand where we stand. But tell me about a project that you and your team have worked on that you can beat your chest and say, yes, this is something I'm extremely proud of.
Yeah, projects from my end.
I mean, just one out of the many, because I know there are a lot of.
We have many projects out there.
Exactly.
That's right. We have many projects up there. But as for me, what motivates me the most and what is bit moving is the sector we target and the kinds of users we target with those applications.
Okay.
We have one business.
One business.
Yes, as you can see.
Oh, right. One system for all businesses.
One system for all businesses. With one business, we realized that we had small businesses out there struggling.
Okay.
Yes. A boutique, restaurant, manage their inventory. And we realized that they couldn't afford applications.
Okay, true.
Yeah, in the sense that you go to the supermarket, you have to buy POS machines.
Yeah.
You have to pay for licensed software.
Of course, you have
and you have to pay for printers and so on. So we come up with a strategic application that can be operated on a phone.
Okay.
For all businesses.
Wow.
One business. That's what we need. One business.
One business.
One business can be operated on a phone. You can use your phone to store your inventory, track your sales, print receipt, generate report, and you name the rest.
I mean,
just with one business. And quite recently, we also targeted event management companies.
That is actually amazing.
With our one business ticket.
Okay.
Yes, we realized that you have to queue in order just to buy a ticket. At the entrance, people have to be fighting to buy a ticket.
True.
So we have our one business ticket integrated with mobile money.
Okay.
You can stay anywhere. Just purchase your ticket. Once you get to the event, with just a QR code, that the QR code is scanned, and you'll be granted access. No stress.
No stress.
So that's the essence of technology, is to make our life easier. And we are here to make the Liberian life easier.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. So if you're just tuning in, I want to say welcome to the MWETANA Tech Talk. We're just about diving deep into some of the conversations around technology and Mr. Dilam for our businesses. And small, struggling business, trying to work with just manual processes, still marking sales in blue books, still counting inventories by manually. Is about time you get acquainted with the One Business application, because I think it's something that's going to change the way that you view your business and how you can be able to, just excel on the overall. So if you are a small business owner, if you are a large business owner, if you are an event planner, this is something that you should be excited about. It's something that's going to help to make sure that you can be able to serve your customers in just a single of the eye and make sure that you can be able to get the value of your money. So if you're just tuning in, I want to say thank you and welcome to the MWETANA Tech Talk. As we talk about some of these things that surround tech and how we as Liberians can be able to use technology to the good of the benefit of all of us. But I know with everything that's going on here, we're in a third world country. There are a lot of challenges that we face on a daily basis when it comes to just some of those things that actually just prevent us from being able to use technology the way that we should use technology. So what are some of those key challenges that you will face, and what challenges, especially when it comes to the Liberian market?
From a CTO, born before computer. BBC. Yes, it has been a challenge. We in Liberia, digital literacy is an issue. Where the last time I checked, we have 30 to 33% of Liberians having access to the internet, which is like 1.8 million. And that is just one step to digital literacy. We realize that it's a bit difficult to have people to use applications and they don't have the ability to use computer. Yes, so you just have to train them how to use a computer first before even training them how to use your application, which has been a bit of a challenge for us. But on the other hand, we see it as an opportunity because it has pushed us to become more innovative. People who are using applications are not that digitally literate. So we have to design our application to be simple, user-friendly. Yes, in that case, they will be able to at least navigate through with no problem. So it has also helped us. Bear in mind that those who use the application may have issue of using computer.
I mean, that's use technology just by simply using an application that is simple and user-friendly at the level that you can be able to understand. That thing that is truly amazing. So this is basically one of my favorite segments on the show, and this is called This or That. So there are a couple of questions we're going to ask you, and you're going to answer which you prefer
this or that.
Yes. So this is one of my favorite segments so far. So whatever it is, you cannot have the two of them. You have to pick one. Yes.
Wow.
So will you rather front end or back end?
I'm a back end guy.
Okay, back end.
Yeah, I'm a back end guy. Yeah.
Okay. So debulking or development? I can see where you're leading. Okay, that's good. Okay, so working from home or office vibes?
I love the office.
Office vibes.
Yes, I love the office in the sense that we have people with different backgrounds.
Okay.
Yeah,
You interact,
so you keep your day
you're talking
moving.
too, yeah.
And so on the phone.
That's why you're working.
Oh, I do music.
Music.
And guess what?
What?
I put one song on repeat for the whole day.
Why?
For the whole day.
So every day there's one song.
Every day I listen to one song.
Just one song.
on repeat. Yes, for the whole day. Yeah.
Oh. I mean that's a very interesting fact, honestly. I mean,
I get to remember the lyrics and I get to
I think I should try that sometime. So one day, one song. The entire song plays the entire day on repeat.
On repeat.
That's a very interesting fun fact. Coffee or energy drinks?
Prefer coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah.
So do you prefer light modes or dark modes?
Light mode. Yes.
I would take you for a dark mode kind of guy.
Yeah, light mode.
Do you prefer coding solo or team brainstorming?
I love team. I'm a team player. I love team. I realize that with team we can achieve great things.
Great, yes. I believe that too. Python or JavaScript?
I'm a back-end guy, and I love data science. I love artificial intelligence. I love machine learning. Python.
Okay. Would you rather push the production on Friday or wait till Monday?
I wait till Monday. Why? Because once I push the production on Friday, I will become a firefighter.
How is that so?
I have to watch my log, and the entire weekend I have to be very careful, monitor the applications and making sure that nothing breaks.
Okay.
And in case something breaks, trust me, it may be difficult to get a result because the team is out there and no one is in the office. People have different schedules and so on. But on a Monday morning, I push it to production. I have a full house.
Okay.
Yeah.
In case anything happens.
Yeah, something breaks, I have, you can do this one, you can do this, and so on. It'll be much easier.
That's a really nice way to put it. Okay, so this is the last questions. I wish we had more. But would you rather keyboard shortcuts or mouse clicks?
Time is very important. A shortcut.
Shortcuts.
I wish I had shortcut in life.
Funny enough, we cannot.
Shortcut.
It has been an interesting time here so far. We're about to take a short break and we'll be back shortly.
Technology is critical for Liberia's development as it encompasses every sector in our society. We ask you to join us today at 4 p.m. for MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Kindly join us today
at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Hey there, join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Join us today.
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 Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Be part of the program, be part of the conversation. Technology is critical for Liberia's development as it encompasses every sector in our society. We ask you to join us today at 4 p.m. for MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Kindly join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Kindly join us at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Hey there, join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Join us today.
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 Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Be part of the program, be part of the conversation.
Welcome back to the MWETANA's Tech Talk. If you are just joining us or if you have stuck with us, want to say thank you for joining us live today for the MWETANA's Tech Talk. I'm Shemaya Falacia Jones Carpi, and today I'm your host, and I have with me Mr. Francis Delamun, HOS, the head of the software team, who has been driving us through some of the amazing softwares they have at MWETANA. How they can be able to work to make sure that you can be. So if you're just joining us, we want to say thank you. If you have been listening, we want to say thank you for taking up your time to join this conversation today. Mr. Delamun, we all know when it comes to technology, innovation is key. But sometimes when we talk about innovation, especially when we're dealing with clients, they really don't always see the vision that we have. So how have you managed to make sure that you can be able to innovate and also meet the client's particular needs?
Well, yeah, that's...
you want to tell a story again? I love that.
Yeah, that's a challenge in our environment.
Okay.
That's why you see when people ship softwares from abroad to Liberia, it's not built using a Liberian context.
True.
Most often those softwares can solve our problem because the Liberians who have the problem are not involved in developing those applications. It has been an issue. Sometimes those applications may run and solve problem partially.
Okay.
And sometimes they may end up leaving those applications because they are not getting the expected result.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. At MWETANA, we develop human-centered solutions.
Human-centered solutions.
Yes, in a sense that we are not just developing an application where we go in a dark room, sit, manage to code, and just push it onto the users. No.
Okay.
We get involved. So with the agile approach, collaboration.
Yes.
In a sense that we see our client as part of the development process.
Okay.
Yes. So we get involved and we build application with them.
With them. Okay. With the client.
With the client. Yes. The benefit of that is they get involved, they understand the process, and each step on the way, they validate what has been developed. If we have mistakes, things that we didn't understand, then we'll rework it and move to the next step. So one of the challenges we have is upfront the users don't know exactly what they want. Yeah, but when they are involved in the process, they critique the work and build in quality. The good thing about it is that once the application has been developed, they intend to use it because they have been involved in it from the onset. And with that, we even us, the developers, we are, I may say, 300% sure that the application will solve problem because the users is involved in the process. We test, we do demo, and we make sure that it's actually the right thing being developed.
That's extremely brilliant, Mr. Delamo. We want to say thank you so much for the insights you have given so far with Thank you so much for the insights so far with the softwares that you have developed. We're about to go through another segment that is our live audience questions.
Okay.
So we have people out there that have questions for you. There are people who want to know how they can be able to get in contact with you. What? And then how you have made it this far. The first question I have here is very funny and I have to ask. It says, are you single? You really don't have to answer, but I think a young lady out there is very curious. Are you single? You could plead the fifth.
I'm not.
He's not.
Yes, I'm not.
He's single. Not single.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a dazzling man, so you can blame the ladies. Okay, so we have another question. Do you feel overwhelmed with workload? If you feel overwhelmed with workload, how do you cope with the solution? How do you cope with workload?
Yeah, one thing that saved me a lot as a software engineer, believing in human capacity.
Yes.
Teamwork. It has really, really saved me. As I said initially, 70% of my work is interacting with my team.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes people think like software development is just about coding. No. Coding is the last thing we do. Yeah. But if you have to interact with the team, understand what to be developed. My boss can always say, the earlier you go to coding, the longer you will stay.
Oh.
Yes. So take your time, understand what to be developed, and before doing coding. Coding is just a piece of what we do. But understanding what to be implemented, that's where the work is.
Okay. So we have another question here. So it's asking, what will be your advice for someone who wants to get into software development but didn't study it at school? So if someone wants to learn software but probably
I may say being curious, pay attention to details.
Yes, you have to.
That's all. Once you are curious, you are eager to learn and can pay attention to detail. You are a developer. We have people who did pharmacy and they are currently developing applications. Yes, we have medical doctors who are developing applications. It's just about following the principles. That's all.
So it's just about following the principles. You don't have to actually be a student in a tech school to learn how to do software development, but I think you have to have that desire to want to learn code.
Yes, critical thinking.
So there are a lot of questions here, and I'm about to ask you another question.
That's interesting. I was expecting this.
Yes. If you could ban one programming language forever, which one would it be and why?
I make a living for Microsoft.
Okay.
And I do C#. Yeah.
So if you could ban one to stop working, one of it should be banned forever. It shouldn't be used. What will you ban? I know it's
That's difficult because when it comes to software, these are tools we use for a reason. It's not just one for everything.
Okay.
So it depends on the task on hand and what you want to achieve. Then they use those programming languages.
Okay.
Like I mentioned initially, that I do C#, but I love Python for data science.
All right.
Yes. So it's difficult.
I know it's difficult. Okay. I have one other question here from audience to say, what makes you a great software developer? It is your skills, your attitude, or is it something else? What really makes someone a great software developer?
Software development is all about paying attention to details.
Paying attention to details.
To details.
That's good.
Yes.
I have one funny question here. Oh, Mr. Delamo, you're gonna love this. What's your developer superpower? What is something that is for you, your superpower that comes naturally to you, but not so natural to others? I would say your debugging skills.
My ability to see what a team member can bring on the project.
Wow.
Yes, sometimes they don't even know what can contribute. Yes, but I'm fast enough to detect that skill and make sure that if you get involved in this, it will make this project a great project.
Wow.
Yes, and I also believe in the people around me. I highly believe in the people around me.
Highly believe in the people. But for Mr. Delamo, what is one lesson your joining has taught you so far with everything that we have talked about here, with your joining from the BBC time
before computer
until here we're in this digital age now that we even have artificial intelligence helping us to make sure that we can be able to get the best of whatever our money can give us. So what is one lesson that you have learned on your joining, and how has it built you into the man that you are today? And would you like to share that one lesson with us?
Well, from my end, it's being patient.
Being patient.
Being patient, and also being a team player. Because especially when it comes to software development, we can't work alone. Yes, we have freelancers out there, we have solo developers out there, but the power of MWETANA is believing in their people. Yes, so with the team, we have achieved many great things. Yeah, we have many great software out there, and with a great team, we have achieved those results.
It has been a pleasure having you here today on the show. If you are just tuning in, want to say thank you for tuning in. If you have been with us from the start, want to say thank you for joining us today as we discuss some of the insights into the software team at MWETANA. So I want to say thank you, Mr. Delamo, for sharing some beautiful insights on how we can be able to navigate this digital space. So thank you today for joining us on the MWETANA's Tech Talk. Please like, follow, and share for more of these amazing videos. If you are just new to our page, we want to say kindly click the link below and be able to follow us for more amazing tech talks. So Mr. Delamo, we want to say thank you for sharing and contributing today in a digital space. We hope that we can have you another time on the show as we discuss some of those insightful things. So before we close, Can you give a word out to our audience that have been listening to you? We know there are some ladies checking you out there, but he is not single, please. So thank you for joining us, and can you please give us a parting statement?
Okay, from my end, I would like Liberians, I would like those in the private sectors to believe in local talents.
Okay.
We have young guys in Liberia, and if you join the software team at MWETANA, we have young folks, energetic, who work hard, creative, and they are able to do different things with the right mindset, with the right tools, and using the youth, our community. We can build great products for Liberia.
I agree.
We have machines. They are helping us in terms of speed, storage. Then we also have the human interaction.
Yes.
Yes, looking at critical thinking. Yes, how to reason. So if we blend it, we blend it.
Wow.
We have the machine and we have the young
critical
folks.
thinkers. Yeah.
Yes, we blend it. It leads us to applications. It leads us to solutions that can transform Liberia in the sense that in all sectors. That's what I love about software development.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not limited. You can be a developer and develop application for the health sector.
True.
You have never been a doctor.
Yes.
You go in there, understand it, and develop application. We have applications almost everywhere that we do. You just have to understand them. And I believe in those young guys out there. They are ready. They are ready to transform almost anything and solve great problems in Liberia.
I believe so too. Thank you so much, Mr. Delamoon, for joining us today for the MWETANA's Tech Talk. You have listened directly from the voice of Mr. Delamoon, head of the software team at MWETANA Consulting and Technology Group, leading the charge of building customized software solutions that have been around to make sure that it can solve the problems of people in and around the world. So if you're just tuning in, and I'll say thank you for tuning in, but it is time to say goodbye on this segment of Great Insight with Francis. We look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Thank you and bye-bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Technology is critical for Liberia's development as it encompasses every sector in our society. We ask you to join us today at 4 p.m. for MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Kindly join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Kindly join us at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA Tech Talk.
Hey there, join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Join us today.
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 Join us today at 4 p.m. for the MWETANA's Tech Talk.
Be part of the program, be part of the conversation.